At forward, at 6'4" from Villanova, number 3, Josh Hart.
So on today's episode of The Mentality of the New York Knicks, I want to focus in and zoom in on Josh Hart and just basically highlight his impact on winning. And before I get into the statistics and everything like that, Josh Hart, his style of play is one of my favorite Knicks of all time. He reminds me of a clone of Anthony Mason. And when I mention Anthony Mason, I'm talking about his style of play, his ability to rebound off of the boards, and dominate the glass. His ability to get the ball off of a defensive rebound and go coast to coast as a playmaker. And he's going to do one of two things in transition. He's either going to take it to the hoop and finish strong in the paint, or he's going to kick it out to a player with a wide open shot. So Josh Hart's style of play, man, his defensive ability, his rebounding ability, his coast to coast ability as a playmaker, it all reminds me of Anthony Mason, and rest in heaven to Anthony Mason. And in regards to Josh Hart's impact on winning, I remember I was going into spaces, the Knicks spaces, and the pregame space with Brutus and the postgame space with State from Harlem, and I was crashing out. During the first 15 games, Mike Brown wasn't starting Josh Hart, and I was absolutely crashing out. For the simple fact, last year with Josh Hart as a starter, we won 51 games, right? We eliminated Detroit in the playoffs in 6 games. We went on to eliminate the defending championship winning Boston Celtics in the playoffs in 6 games, right? We might have fell 2 games short, 2 wins short of the NBA Finals, but Josh Hart is here to start. He's not here to come off of the bench. His energy is contagious. His energy is second to none. You need that energy coming out the locker room right out the gate for tip-off, right? And he's been a starter for a lot of series now, right? He started against Cleveland when we eliminated him in the playoffs. Okay, he started against Philadelphia when we eliminated him in the playoffs. He started against Detroit when we eliminated him in the playoffs. He started against Boston when we eliminated him in the playoffs. And now he's just won his 5th to 6th series as a starter as a Knick. We just eliminated Philadelphia again in the playoffs with Josh Hart as the starter. And then we also just went and eliminated Atlanta before that. So that's 6 playoff series wins with Josh Hart as a starter. And I can't even blame the 3 other series where we lost with him. If you think back to Miami when we lost, Josh Hart started those first 3 games, right? But he didn't start the last 3 games. We went 1-2 against Miami with Josh Hart as a starter. And then the last 3 games, I believe it was Quentin Grimes who started those last 3 games. I still feel to this day that Thibodeau should have never made that change, And then you go to the series against Indiana last year in 2025 playoffs. Josh Hart only started 2 of those games, right? Mitchell Robinson started the other 4 games. And then if you think back to the Indiana series in 2024, we went 7 games with Josh Hart as a starter, and that's despite the fact that we was without Julius Randle. Okay, we were without Mitchell Robinson. We were without OG Anunoby, and we were even without Bojan Bogdanovic. So I want to highlight the impact of Josh Hart specifically this season. Okay, so in the first 15 games when I was crashing out with Josh Hart not starting, and credit to Mike Brown for basically listening to the coaching staff. I heard that every single coach on the coaching staff went over to Mike Brown and said, you have to start Josh Hart. And ever since Mike Brown listened to the coaching staff, we haven't looked back. So in the first 15 games, we were 9-6 throughout the 15 games. And that's a winning percentage of only 600%. And it was on pace for only 49.2 wins per 82-game season. Now, if you look at Josh Hart's record as a starter this year, including the Cup game against San Antonio, because I'm going to include that, and if you also include the playoffs with an 8-2 record, Josh Hart as a starter for the Knicks this year has a winning record of 45-18. And that's a winning percentage of 714, 71.4%, and that's on pace for 58.5 wins per 82-game season. Now, the most important stat in terms of Josh Hart starting versus Josh Hart not starting is when you look at our record against above 500 winning teams, when Josh Hart A, didn't start, B, didn't play, or a combination of A and B where he didn't start or he just didn't play, the Knicks had a record against winning teams of 7-11, like the corner store, right? And that record of only 7-11 of 4 games below 500 was a winning percentage of only 38.8%, .388. And that's on pace for only 31.8 wins per 82-game season. Now, if you look at the record for the Knicks against above 500 winning teams when Josh Hart starts, it's mind-boggling. We've got a record of 31-10. That includes the cup game along with our 8-2 record in the playoffs. So when Josh Hart starts against above 500 winning teams, we've got a record of 31-10, right? That's 21 games above 500. That's a winning percentage of 756, so 75.6%, and it's on pace to win 62 games per 82 game season. So that's the difference of Josh Hart that he makes for this team, the way he impacts winning. When we play against opposing other winning teams that's against above 500, we've got a losing record of 7-11 this season compared to a winning record of 31-10. The difference is astronomical. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to the way Josh Hart has played in the postseason this year against both Atlanta and Philadelphia. So these are team rankings. He's first on the team in steals with 16 steals. He's first on the team in defensive rebounds with 82 defensive rebounds. He's first on the team in defensive win share at 0.7. He's first on the team in pass deflections at 39. He's second on the team in minutes. So there were a lot of Knicks fans that were telling me in these pregame spaces and postgame spaces on Knicks Twitter that the Knicks can't win playoff series with Josh Hart starting. Not only has Josh Hart started against both Atlanta and Philadelphia, right? But he has the second most amount of minutes on the entire team. And those minutes are 340 minutes. Okay. Rebounds, he's second on the Knicks in total rebounds with 90 rebounds. He's third on the team in assists with 42 assists. Right? He's fourth on the team in defensive rating with a defensive rating of 103. He's fifth on the team in points scored with 103 points. He's fifth on the team in overall win share at 0.9, and then he's fifth on the team in VORP, value over replacement player, at 0.2. Now, outside of the team stats for the Knicks in the playoffs, he's also second amongst the entire NBA in pass deflections with 39. That's a hustle stat right there, man. That's what Josh Hart is all about, hustling, and he's second in the playoffs in hustle stats with 39 pass deflections. He's second in the entire NBA in defensive rebounds with 82, and that's only behind Victor Wembanyama, who's 7'4". Victor Wembanyama has 88 defensive rebounds, and then Josh Hart is sixth amongst the entire NBA playoffs, every player that's played in the playoffs, in total rebounds with 90 rebounds. And he's only behind 5 different centers: Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Victor Wembanyama, and DeAndre Ayton, as well as Jalen Durant. But what these playoff stats really don't show about Josh Hart's game is his A+ energy, his grind, his effort, his hustle, his passion, and his overall will to win. So I just want to give a quick shout out and acknowledge Josh Hart, man, because the impact that he has on winning is second to none, and I truly believe he's the heart of the city. Let's go Knicks.
I got 100 guns, 100 clips, nigga, I'm from New York, New York. I got a semi-automatic that spits next time if you talk, you talk. I got 100 guns, 100 clips, nigga, I'm from New York, New York. I got a semi-automatic that spits next time if you talk, and I know.